Hey guys, Jason from Underhill Forge here with a quick video on grinders. I get asked an awful lot during class about what type of grinder is great for entry level, and one of the types of grinders that we use here in the shop is this Grizzly G1015, and I really highly recommend it. It's about $575 plus shipping, and it's really just with the 2x72 belt. You get a lot of surface area, and I think it's much more bang for the buck than say a 1x30 or a 1x42. And there's a couple of reasons why. One of the reasons why is this is a really large motor. It's a 1 horsepower motor, and so it doesn't bog down. Whereas with, say, your Harbor Freight grinder or Delta grinder or even Craftsman grinder, 1x30, 1x42, 2x42, most of those fall into that 1/3 to 1/4 horsepower range. And so you really can't pull enough metal away without bogging down the belt or even burning out the motor. This grinder does have a few limitations though, and the most obvious being is when you step back here and you look at our 2x72 grinder, we've got this nice 2-inch radius wheel, and it's actually 4 different wheels all together, and it really makes for a nice kit and adds a lot of versatility to your grinding. So today I'm going to take one of these G1015s, and with a kit that I bought from Hell's Kitchen Tools out of Texas, we're going to turn it from a 2-wheel grinder into a 4-wheel grinder. So here we have the Grizzly G1015, still in the box, just got shipped the other day, so I brought it in here. I wanted to do the unboxing on camera, and here I've done a little bit of pre-assembly, but it's essentially 4 different parts in this Hell's Kitchen modification kit for the Grizzly G1015, and the one thing that you'll notice is while it does come with all the screws, we do have to go ahead and buy our wheels. Now the kit for this is about $170. You can find it on Amazon or on the Hell's Kitchen Tools site. And the wheels, I just found on eBay. They're 2-inch radius wheels with nice bearings in them, and they ran about $38 plus shipping. So they were here in about 2 days. Very, very quick turnaround, but it does not, the kit does not come with these wheels, so you will have to buy your own. This Grizzly G1015 comes in 2 different boxes. The first box, aside from all your shipping, labels, and manifests, you're going to find the parts to your armatures, which we're actually going to have to cut this down. They recommend to cut it down to 11.5 inches, and this is a solid steel bar that's been threaded with a couple of holes, so we'll go ahead and do that later on. Just set it aside for right now. That's our main support. This arm goes over the drive wheel. Oh look, they actually give us a nice little cheap belt. This is our idler wheel. And something that I don't normally use on these, I know some guys do it because, hey, that is the way that it's recommended, but this is just a base plate that goes underneath that drive wheel, and I've never really found it to be too essential. Also in the box is our 8-inch wheel, which is our drive wheel. It's a rubberized wheel. Grizzly does sell a 10-inch version of that as well. I believe it's about $90. And just a couple of miscellaneous fixtures that need to go on for the final assembly, plus all your nuts, bolts, and tool rest, and all that. So in our other box should just be our main motor. Here's all of our parts for our Grizzly G1015. Everything came out of the box. The only thing with my particular unit, things just got a little weird. You'll notice that the power button seems to have broken off in shipping. So this is kind of unusual because I've never really had a problem with anything that Grizzly has ever sold me before. I do have a workaround. I have a bad switch in my other one, so I could actually take that button out and swap it around, or I could go ahead and put a foot switch on it, which is what I did with the previous broken model that I have here in the shop. I'll figure that out along the way. Here we have all of our parts, everything that's needed to actually assemble this grinder, well, except for one thing. Alright, now we're ready to assemble. Here we're installing the mounting adapter, but we're going to have to cut the video short. Fortunately, something I didn't notice when I was unpacking, you may have seen that I pulled out the control arm and then I pulled out the idler wheel. Unfortunately, there's a pivot bracket that was broken during shipping as well. It's just a small cast iron part. Later that night, I went and I emailed Grizzly through Amazon Marketplace, which is where I had bought the grinder, and explained the issue to them. I didn't really expect to hear anything back until today, which is Monday. So I placed an order for that actual pivot bracket, and according to the website, it would be here Wednesday. However, Saturday morning, I was kind of shocked to see that I got an email at 11:20 on Saturday that basically apologized that everything was broken during shipping, and asking what part numbers it was and how we can go about resolving this, because I really don't want to package the whole grinder back up. The whole thing weighs about 110, 115 pounds, and it's just why send the whole thing back when I can go ahead and change out the part that's broken as long as they send me the new one, which of course I paid for of my own. I'm hoping that Grizzly will go ahead and reimburse me for that, and also send the on-off switch that I may need in the future. However, I did mention that I have a walk around for that, and that's, I really like to use on-off switches, foot on-off switches, and it just makes everything go a little bit smoother here in the shop than trying to fidget around with buttons and everything else. Much quicker. An incident happens, I can just tap my foot and it's done. So I'm going to be wiring it up for the foot switch, but I would still like the new switch sent to me, just in case something happens in the future where I might get rid of that particular grinder, or I just change how I do things in here. So stay tuned later on this week. I hope to have part 2 of this video up before the weekend. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and look forward to seeing you all again.